Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's opinions video. I asked for your feedback regarding Money in the Bank, your thoughts, your predictions. So we've had loads of responses as usual. So let's work our way through and we're going to start with The Rocksteady, who says it's Tiffy time. So Tiffy time's going to win. Uso wins with interference from CM Punk and the Wyatts. Priest wins with help from Judgment Day. Sami loses. Bloodline wins. Okay, got you. I like that. I Make Beats said, in my opinion, Punk costs Drew the ladder match or a cash-in if Drew wins. Possibly some Wyatt interference to cost Chad or distract him. Also would be sick to work in the Fireflies to help Jay somehow. We might even see a return in Jimmy Uso, who helps Cody but is taken out by Jacob. Lee said, I think it's going to be chaotic. Think we're going to see some surprises. Renee said, I'm hoping, like many of us, that Roman returns, but we will have to see. Rose said, Money in the Bank winner, Drew. Women's Money in the Bank winner, Chelsea. Intercontinental title match, Sami. Six-man tag, Bloodline. World Heavyweight Championship match, Priest, and Drew tries to cash in. We get Punk screwing Drew. It's going to be a weird night if we get all heels winning. So there we go. R.O. Ro. Shout out to you. Spartan says Bloodline wins. Cody's team continue getting attacked after the match and Jimmy returns. Bron wins the IC title from Sami. Tiffy or Chelsea win Women's Money in the Bank. Jay or Drew to win Money in the Bank. I would be thrilled if Sami gets into the match and wins. Damian to retain WWE title. Very good. Here we've got I Am the Colour Red, who says Chelsea to get the women's. Bron to get the IC. World title will be Damian. Six-man will be Bloodline. Men's Money in the Bank lights go out. They come back on. And a massacre around ringsides with all contenders knocked out on crushed ladders. Apart from Chad's, who has free run at the briefcase, surrounded by the Wyatt Six in darkness and smoke. I don't understand that last bit. So we're saying that the Wyatt Six are going to take out everyone in the match except for Chad's, who is going to be able to get the briefcase. Has a free run at the briefcase, surrounded by, where are the Wyatt Six? Around the ladder or around the outside? They're surrounding him, but don't quite get that last bit. But yeah, there has been some thoughts about the Wyatt Six maybe taking out everyone in the match. I'm not sure about that. I do like the idea of that match just being completely derailed, but I don't know. If we did that, would the Wyatt Six face a massive backlash? Because they've basically just ruined a match that people love. People love Money in the Bank, and they love like someone winning it and someone cashing it in. If the Wyatt Six ruin that, they might start facing a bit of heat, and that would be a little bit of a concern. Harish said Drew wins Money in the Bank, tries to cash it in on Damian Priest, but CM Punk attacks and costs Drew the title and takes back the bracelets. We've had that a few times now, and I think people know my thoughts on this. I'd be a bit concerned if it went that way, only because I just think, again, you're ruining Money in the Bank for Drew to win, cash in, and for that cash in to be spoiled, ruined because of this CM Punk feuds. We're kind of ruining Money in the Bank this year. I feel like Drew and CM Punk, it doesn't need any more builds. We don't need to kind of throw away this year's men's Money in the Bank cash in. to add more fuel onto that fire. So they could go that way. To be clear, they could go that way, but I kind of hope they don't, you know. I kind of hope they don't. I kind of hope CM Punk just costs Drew during the match, allowing someone else to win the briefcase, rather than Drew gets it and then CM Punk costs him, because well, that would be frustrating, man. That would be it for Money in the Bank this year. And that would be frustrating. Horses Head Wrestling said, another Bloodline debut return. Not sure which side they'll fall on, though. John Elite said Drew wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, but Punk prevents Drew from cashing in later during the World Heavyweight title match. Bloodline, when Solo pins Cody, they beat up the faces, and Jimmy returns. Bron dethrones Sami. I'm with you on that. I do think this is going to be the end of Sami's Intercontinental title run. Damian retains. Tiffany wins the women's briefcase. K-Cool said Uncle Howdy is going to attack Chad during Money in the Bank the same way that Bray did to Roman in 2015. Carl said Seth wins, so Damian leaves Judgment Day, setting up Liv to join so she can take another thing from Rhea. Dom will have to cave very soon, though. AJ's music will hit, and she'll come out distracting Drew at the top of the ladder and Punk, and someone else will tip it over. So you think, what, AJ Lee's music's going to hit? She's going to come out into the entranceway, but it won't be her that tips over the ladder. It'll be someone else. Okay. I'm definitely down for AJ Lee getting involved in some way. Definitely down for that. So, yeah, very exciting. Mr. Money said, I like how unpredictable the card is. I would like to see Seth Rollins win over Damian Priest, because I would rather see Rollins versus Gunther than Priest versus Gunther. Sam from Until Dawn said, I don't know, but I think Chad Gable is done for. Very good. Louise said Rhea will return at Money in the Bank. Dean says Jay will be Mr. Money in the Bank. Bron Breakker is going to beat Sami. Tiffany is going to be Miss Money in the Bank. Bloodline going to beat Cody and Randy and KO. Seth is going to be victorious over Damian. AJ Lee or CM Punk costs Drew the briefcase. Finn costs Priest the title, which will set a program between them for SummerSlam. And we could see a new member of the Bloodline and the return of Jimmy to help Cody, says Dean. Wrestling fan since day one says Tiffany Stratton's going to win. Bron Breakker's going to win. Cody Rhodes' team is going to win. Damian Priest is going to win. And Jey Uso is going to win. Daze, I think Jimmy will return to help Cody and his team in some way. And maybe we get Roman. Also, I think CM Punk will make an appearance to distract Drew or AJ. So, yeah, a lot of people hoping for AJ. I think it's just hope, though, to be honest. I agree that there is a definite possibility, but I'm leaning towards it being just more unlikely than likely. But, oh, it'd be amazing if we get it. Sam said CM Punk will do what Paul Heyman did to Punk at Money in the Bank. He will take a ladder and smash it on Drew. Drew falls, and the Yeet Master will climb up and grab the thing. What thing? Also, it's Tiffy time. Bloodline 2.0 destroy. Jimmy or Roman return. So Bloodline 2.0 are going to win, and then Jimmy or Roman return. Angelo said Finn is going to do something sneaky. Samantha says Tiffany wins the women's Money in the Bank, and Jay wins for the men's Money in the Bank. I think Jimmy returns, but not Roman. I think Bron wins against Sami. I would like to see Sami in the Money in the Bank and win, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to happen either, to be honest. I would love for it to happen as well. And we are in Canada. So it would be brilliant if that is where he could get his hands on the Money in the Bank, because it's such a massive step towards becoming a world champion, having that briefcase. To actually get that briefcase in Canada, it's just like the stars have aligned. So it would be amazing, but at the moment, as we said, he's not even in the match, but that'd be one hell of a swerve if they did that. Chad removed, Sami added. Oh my God, I'd freak. Tony said, I'm going with a lot of interference in that men's match. Wyatt take out Chad Gable. Paul takes out LA Knight, Logan Paul. AJ Lee takes out McIntyre. Wow, so Wyatt, Logan, AJ Lee, all getting involved. All leads to their SummerSlam matches, leaving the other three to go for the briefcase. If it's the first match of the night, then McIntyre wins, says Tony. Devin said, Drew wins, gets screwed over cashing in the same night, might get a promo from the Wyatt Six. If anything, they'll screw over Gable, but I don't expect it. Oh, really? You don't expect the Wyatt Six? I do, to be honest. I'm expecting something from them, because I just think this is a big show, and you know, it's a good way of introducing them to people that maybe only watch SmackDown as well, because we haven't really done much on SmackDown with them since they debuted. So it feels like this is a big stage, big platform. We could definitely do something with them here. That's interesting that you don't expect them. NWL Ninja Jelly said, I think we will see more action from the Wyatt Six during the men's Money in the Bank ladder match to warn others to watch themselves, because they will not hesitate to take action. Brendan said Jey Uso, yeet. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've got Jey as the winner. I would love for it to be Sami, but yeah, Jey. Of all the people that are in the match. Bradley said Tiffany and Jay. Gable gets attacked before the match by the Wyatt Six. Then for the IC title match, Bron Breakker for the win. Then Solo will beat Cody for Solo to show that he is not to be messed with. Then Damian versus Seth. Finn will cost Damian the match like Damian did last year to Finn. Nice callback. Andrew said Jimmy returns to team with Cody, Randy, and Kevin. Creeds help Chad win Money in the Bank. That's interesting. So that would be a great way of having the Creeds get involved. So that's interesting. See, I still think that the Wyatts make their presence felt, but what if they don't do it until after Chad wins? I suppose the question would be, why have they allowed that? Why not interrupt earlier and stop Chad from winning? But that would solidify that team, wouldn't it? You know, Chad doesn't need Otis anymore. He doesn't need Akira anymore. Creeds have helped Chad win. I feel like that is a way that we could go. I still feel like the Wyatt Six are going to make their presence felt on the show, though. So if that happens, I would imagine the Wyatt Six will make their presence felt immediately after that has happened. But that is interesting. Jimmy to return to team with Cody, Randy, and Kevin is interesting as well. In my mind, Jimmy may come back at the show, but he's coming back after they're getting attacked, after they've lost the match. So you're thinking he'll come back earlier to actually team with them? Because on the other side, we do have Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob. So there are 4. Only 3 of them, I think, are currently scheduled to wrestle, but there are 4. So it does make sense for Cody, Randy, and Kevin to get Jimmy involved. I'm thinking it's after the match, though. You're thinking that he comes back to team with them. Andrew, very interesting. Kiki said, I think Jay is going to win Money in the Bank on Saturday. Kane said Rollins, Bloodline, Bron, and Chelsea Green win. CM Punk takes Drew out. Logan takes LA Knight out. Everyone but Chad is laid out. And he reaches the briefcase. But the Wyatt 6 attack, Howdy takes the briefcase and hands it to Jay. I like the detail in that. We want Drew, said Sami is going to win. Damian Priest is going to win. Bloodline 2.0 are going to win. Tiffany and Carmelo. I think that's the first time that we've had Carmelo getting mentioned as a potential winner. Logan said, hello, Daze. Hello, Logan. Io Sky is the winner for the women's. Okay. Because Io is the first ever woman to win back-to-back Money in the Bank. And didn't Carmella do it? I suppose that first one's a little controversial because of James Ellsworth grabbing the briefcase on her behalf, but I'm pretty sure the record book showed that the first winner was Carmella, and she then won the one that they did, I think, wasn't it on SmackDown or something, a few days later because of the controversy. So, that's an interesting one. Is Io Sky the first to win back-to-back? Roman or Jimmy return to Money in the Bank to the biggest pop. And one question is, need now Cody heel because MJF is heel. Oh, there's no connection there. Whatever AEW are doing is completely separate from what WWE are doing. If MJF's a heel now, that's got no connection with Cody Rhodes. I definitely wouldn't be turning Cody. I wouldn't turn Cody because we know that he's got a big match in the future with The Rock, and I wouldn't be having The Rock as the face in that match. Plus, also, it feels like Cody solo is the plan for SummerSlam. So yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would ignore what other companies are doing. Enjoy them for what they are. Bears no resemblance to what we do on WWE. PWR Crypto said, I say that Jimmy comes back at the end of the 6-man tag match. Wyatt 6 is going to interfere in the men's Money in the Bank, and Jay is going to win Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton is going to win Money in the Bank. So you've got Jay winning and Tiffany winning and Wyatt 6 getting involved. Nita Nitro said, I'm convinced that Chelsea is winning. There has never been a failed women's cash-in, and if anyone can sell a fail and make it a great angle, it's Chelsea, says Nita Nitro. Raven said, I'm thinking Tiffany or Chelsea will win the women's Money in the Bank. Definitely thinking men's match will be full of shenanigans. Punk or someone will mess with Drew on his behalf, possibly Chad attacked by Wyatt 6. Can't say I'm expecting anything over the top, but just a fun show. Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think it's going to be brilliant because Money in the Bank is normally a really noteworthy show just for the fact of whoever gets those briefcases. You know, obviously it sets them up really well for cashing in and becoming a world champion. So, you know, I mean, if it is someone that we didn't expect, we have to start then looking at them as potential future world champions, just like Damian Priest last year. So a definite talking points, almost guaranteed talking points this weekend. So do love Money in the Bank. El Patata said, women's ladder match, Tiffany wins. Chelsea would be better though. IC match, Bron Breakker wins, as they always protect Sami, showing that he was injured from last week's Raw. World Heavyweight Championship, Damian wins. Men's ladder match, Andrade wins. Wow, I think that's the first Andrade I've heard. I would love Chad too. 6-man tag match, whatever. Bloodline wins. Q Hicks said, I see LA Knight winning Money in the Bank. I see Rhea returning. I don't think the Wyatt 6 should interfere with Gable. He is already going to be flustered. I see Punk interfering though. I see Cody, Randy and KO losing. Magic Dax 69 said Tiffany wins Money in the Bank. New Bloodline wins their match and Jimmy returns after. For those saying Roman returns, I think his return will be at SummerSlam and cost Solo the win against Cody. I agree. Men's Money in the Bank, I believe Dom gets inserted and Rhea costs him the match and Jay wins because of it. I don't know, just to go back to that last point, I don't know if he's going to cost Solo, but he absolutely could. But I agree that SummerSlam is where I'm expecting Roman to return. Either return on that show or just before it. I think it'll be at SummerSlam. You'd only bring him back just before if he was going to be having a match at SummerSlam. So, I mean, I understand the idea of returning him at Money in the Bank because then he can have a match at SummerSlam. So, I do understand that. But I agree. I am definitely leaning more towards he has his return at SummerSlam. Seth Go Gods says multiple run-ins teased for the men's Money in the Bank match that they have set up. I think we'll see multiple, but not all. Probably Wyatt 6 and maybe CM Punk. I think Melo wins it. I expect something big in the Cody versus Bloodline tag match that advances the story, whether it's a betrayal or debut. Either way, Bloodline will look strong, solidifying Solo as a legit threat to take Cody's WWE title. I think shenanigans occur in Seth versus Damian too. It feels like Rollins wins here. I just don't know if they take the Judgment Day interference attempt distracting Damian and costing him, or if they attempt a double turn of Seth trying to replace Damian in Judgment Day. A double turn of Seth trying to replace Damian in Judgment Day, which I think would be bad and the fans would poop on. Yeah, I mean, Seth turning and trying to replace Damian in Judgment Day, that is honestly the first time I've heard that. I would be shocked if that was the direction that they go, but food for thought. Food for thought. So, Seth Gogard, shout out to you. Jaden said, I agree with most of your predictions. I do think the men's match will be shenanigan heavy with a chance of Punk costing Drew, Wyatt's taking Chad out, Logan costing LA. But I like the idea of Sami winning. The pop would be mental, but all I see is Jay winning. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I think I would love Sami to be in, but you just can't guarantee that. So I'm definitely leaning Jay for everyone that's in that match. But I'm just got my fingers crossed that we find a way of getting Sami in. Fritzlemania said Drew wins Money in the Bank. Punk takes him out and steals his cash in, taking the title for himself, said Fritzlemania. Andrew said Sami loses. Wyatt 6 take out Chad before Money in the Bank. Sami replaces Chad's. Drew is about to grab the briefcase. CM Punk pushes over the ladder. Sami wins Money in the Bank. I'd like to see Chelsea win the women's. I like a wild card with the case sometimes. So you want Chelsea? I don't mind Chelsea. As you said, sometimes like a real curveball can be very exciting. Hopefully we get it with Sami, but Chelsea getting it, would not be down on that. And Gaz as well said, I think Chelsea's going to win Money in the Bank. I reckon she would be brilliant with the briefcase, although I do think she will be the first female to fail with the cash in. I don't think that happening would hurt the character that she plays at the moment. No, it wouldn't hurt the character. Joseph said, I think Money in the Bank should be a solid show. Card looks pretty good. Crowd should be really good as well. My predictions are Bloodline, Drew, Chelsea, Sami, and Damian. Hope everyone enjoys the show. Same here. We are the Woe Movements. Let's see if we can get this up on screen. These can be a little tricky. Let's see if I can. There we go. I I think Tiffany or Chelsea win women's Money in the Bank. I think Jay might win the men's Money in the Bank. Could see AJ Lee costing Drew, because at least that switches things up rather than having Punk do it again. Could also see Wyatt 6 and Logan Paul getting involved, causing much chaos, leaving maybe one person unharmed and able to grab the briefcase. I'm not suggesting Logan is with Wyatt 6, of course, but I just think there will be a lot of involvement, which is why someone like Andrade could be a shock winner. Still going with Jey Uso, though. Priest will win. No reason for Seth to barely hold it when we know Gunther will most likely win at SummerSlam. Bloodline will win, and Jimmy will return. Happy with either Sami or Bron winning, although I do think Bron will be after world titles when we get to Netflix, so maybe it's time for a quick mid-card run. There we go. That is We Are the Woe movements. Let's undo this Zoom. There we go. Chanel said, I think we will get a Wyatt 6 attack. Also, I feel Jay and Tiffany will win their respective Money in the Bank matches. GGTK said, lights go out, smoke fills the ring, some commotion, lights back on, everyone is knocked out, and Chad's on top of the ladder with the briefcase. That's interesting. We had that earlier, so some are thinking that the Wyatts are going to not stop Chad from winning, which would definitely raise questions as to why they've done that. Justin said Jay wins, Punk costs Drew, Wyatt's cost Chad. Charles said Bron kills Sami, Priest wins clean. Barry said hopefully Chelsea or Naomi for Money in the Bank. To be honest, Tiff really doesn't need it to be carrying it around. If we do, I only see Tiff cashing in on Bailey or Nia at SummerSlam. Tiff really don't need the muscle in Nia either. Jeremy said Drew wins the men's Money in the Bank, then cashes in on Priest or Rollins, but Punk returns to screw Drew again. Chelsea wins the women's Money in the Bank. Solo pins Cody, setting up SummerSlam. Bron wins the IC title. Rico said, I don't want to put this in the universe, but I think Chelsea wins and fails with her cash-in, thus breaking the 100% success rate. For the men's, I think it could be a dirty match with multiple interference. Instead of Sami swooping in, I think Vacant makes his return. There we go. Everyone's favourite superstar, Vacant, who has held championships more than anyone else. So, Rico, shout out to you. Tiger Claw Gaming said, thoughts, predictions, Rollins, discount Bloodline, Sami by DQ, Tiffy time, Drew McIntyre, Drew gets punked. Ingas said, should be a good show. Think Jay will win the men's and Tiffany will win the women's. Priest will retain and the Wyatt 6 will cost Gable his place in Money in the Bank. Ian said, Bloodline win, no sign of Heyman. Bron wins the IC title. Tiffany wins the women's Money in the Bank. Jay to win Money in the Bank. Chad Gable gets beaten up again. Damian to retain. Unwanted interference from Finn. Nick said, I want LA Knight or Drew to win. If Knight wins, we can get a match with Logan without him ducking or losing. Tetra's completion. And if Drew wins, he can win the title and start a feud with Punk. So you want LA Knight or Drew? James says, Drew wins Money in the Bank. Drew fails cash in thanks to Punk. Tiffany wins Money in the Bank. Team Cody wins thanks to Jimmy. Bron Breakker wins IC belts. Seth is the new world champion. Wyatt 6 costs Chad Gable his chance in Money in the Bank. Like that, James. Bang, 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 bang. To the point, nice and clean. Love it. Watson says Drew wins Money in the Bank, then attempts to cash in on the world title, but Punk stops him. But that also distracts Seth against Damian. Gunther can win at SummerSlam. And how amazing would it be if we got Seth versus Drew versus Punk at Survivor Series 1 year later, where they walk out on Punk's return. So you're thinking at Survivor Series, Seth, Drew, Punk, because Drew and Seth were the two that got the most animated and heated when Punk came back. Watson, very interesting. I think we got time for, we can do all the ones that are on screen. So Caitlin said, I'm excited and nervous. My picks are either Jay or a surprise. Chelsea for the women's, Seth new champion, Sami retains, and Bloodline win. You can't kill me in a way that matters, says Drew wins Money in the Bank, cashes in same night on whoever wins out of Priest versus Seth, or towards the end of the match, either or. This is thwarted by CM Punk, allowing whoever it is to retain and send Drew home beltless again. Landon, the chosen one, said Trish returns to get revenge on Zoey. So, Landon, the chosen one, I am expecting to see Trish. I don't know that she'll be interfering in the show, but the streets are saying that she could be part of the hosting group. She could be part of the kickoff panel. So we'll have to wait and see. But there we go. Appreciate, we didn't do too bad there getting through. I mean, we still had a few to get through, but we didn't do too bad getting through quite a few there. So very interesting. A lot of very similar themes coming through, similar thoughts coming through, but I really enjoyed hearing what you had to say about Money in the Bank. We're definitely going to keep doing this for future PLEs, and actually next time I will look to maybe do this a little earlier, because I wish we could find a way of doing this for NXT. I'm just wondering if we could do this maybe on Sunday for NXT, where I get your thoughts for NXT on Sunday. I think we could probably do that, actually. We could probably do that. So it might be, keep your eyes peeled on Wrestling Days YT, because I'll probably put another message out asking for your predictions for NXT Heatwave. That'll be the next one, which is Sunday. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.